I think it's shaping out really well. I feel like even with the little practices we've had throughout the summer, I feel like everyone's kind of meshing really well together. It's a fun group of girls, and I think everyone's just ready to get back on the court, which is something that's really cool, and you don't always see that in the summer, but I feel like cohesively you can feel that everyone's just ready to get in the gym and start playing together. So I actually played club with her when I was like 13 and 14 years old. So I've known her growing up, knew her when she was at Minnesota. We've always like stayed in touch and stuff, and then now she's my roommate. But yeah, I think just getting even more of that experience with her before stepping onto the Nebraska court, I think was good for her, for myself, and for Merritt. I think for all of us, just getting a little bit more chemistry under our belt before we start. Yeah, I think one of the biggest things was that, and we talk about it even like when we reflect on the year, but just that like we had an incredible year and we accomplished so much together as a team. And for women's sports and for Nebraska volleyball, it was just a really successful year. And I think at the end of the day, we didn't get the final achievement that we wanted, but we were still there, which was a very hard place to get to. Only 2 teams make it there, and we were one of 2. So I think after that, just kind of reflecting and acknowledging that we did do some really hard things last year, and we should be proud of what we did. And then at the same time, we were a very young team. We didn't graduate any seniors. We had some transfers that transferred out, but we also got some new additions, and we have 2 amazing freshmen also. So I think just taking that as like, okay, it happened. We have a lot to get better at, a lot to learn, but at the same time, like, we had a really good year, and we can keep building on that with a similar roster this year. I think, especially as a leader, I can have a bigger voice. That's kind of been my goal every single year since I was a freshman. And being a captain, I think it's really important that my teammates can trust me and they can rely on me. And I think just having a bigger vocal presence could be really useful for this team. And I think I'm a very steady person, and emotionally, and like just how I play too. So that helps, but definitely bringing more of the vocal side would be, I think, beneficial. And then on the court, I think there's always places to get better at. I think I can be more aggressive, try and take more balls in whatever aspect I can, and just keep continuing to lead by example. I think that's kind of, coaches always said, like, the team that wins the serve and pass battle is probably going to win. And we've known that from day one. I've known that since I was a freshman. And I think we prepared very well. And at the end of the day, I think it just comes down to trusting ourselves, believing in our abilities, that we can still, we can still perform even at that level, and even when we're being tested and challenged. And I think that was kind of the biggest thing. As a team, I just don't think we had as much belief as we had throughout the entire year. So I think they've helped a lot. I think they give us a lot of opportunities to connect with the community, connect with our fans, give back. And there's other NIL things that we obviously do, but I think the things they align for us are to help us become better people and to have those experiences that will hopefully be beneficial once we get into the real world. I think the biggest and most memorable one was partnering with Adidas and becoming kind of like in the face of like volleyball for Adidas. And I feel like that's like a brand that you like dream of working with, especially at Nebraska and in the volleyball world, where Adidas is like very well known and one of the top brands. And I think just doing that and then partnering it aside with like Volleyball Day in Nebraska, like all that coming together at the same time, I think was really, really special.